you'll be in here in New York and people will tell you you're not from America. But then he himself told me I'm not from Colombia. So where am I from?
Not having papers stucks you. Like, it doesn't allow you to progress. Doesn't allow you to do things that you want to do.
See, look, it says cancels. Look, see?
Basically, we are being burdened. I'm pretty sure your property taxes, your Medicare taxes, now with healthcare reform, we're going to be paying a lot more money.
If you look at the history of United States of America, the contribution of immigrants is invaluable.
I came to the US when I was 3 from Colombia, and we came on a plane with all the fake paperwork and passports, my mother and I, and we came to New York, and I've been living here for 16 years.
My parents and I came here in 1981, and they came on student visas. And they were F1, and I was F2 as a dependent. I'm not a kid anymore.
So this passport is no longer valid.
No, it's not valid. Obviously, if it was valid, I could travel, but obviously, you don't.
But
See, look, it says cancels. Look, see?
when was it canceled?
I don't know, probably in '86 or something.
In high school, you're the same as everybody else, but then after you graduate, it's like you all separate, and there's a group that go ahead, and then there's a group that gets stuck and can't do anything.
I work as hard as anybody. My friends, they got married and had kids, and I was looking at them, and maybe they were looking at me, and I just felt this sense that they were moving along in their lives, and I was still stuck here. I want to be where they are. And it really bothered me.
Sometimes you try to live your life as a regular person, but then there's always things that remind you, yeah, you're undocumented. You always fear that something's gonna happen if you do something wrong. You're scared that you might end up, like if you're on a road trip and you take a wrong turn, you can end up in Canada. Yeah, it's like you're 12 years old forever, because you can't do anything. You don't have any form of identification. Nobody's gonna believe how old you are until they see some form of ID, some form of proof.
And being undocumented is like living in an invisible prison. You're behind these invisible bars. Most of the time, sometimes you're in there by yourself. Most of the time, you're in there with your whole family. And then you see what you can't do all the time. And technically, you're free. You live in a free country, the United States. But you live in shame and fear because of your undocumented status. Some sold out, so
Okay.
no plane. I take it day by day. I try not to think too far ahead. I think it'll mess with you, and so it'll just make you depressed and worried.
Speaker represents the next generation, the New York State Leadership Council, Angy. Because we
65,000 students graduate with no hope of achieving their dreams, and I'm one of those students. I'm tired of living in fear and not being able to fulfill my dreams. Obama, you promised change, but everything still looks the same.
And I wasn't sure, like my stomach had butterflies because there's so many cameras there and people recording. I was like, I don't know, should I? And then I did it, and that's it.
If I was 50 and I was still at the grocery store, then what was that about? You know, and so I didn't want to live with regret anymore.
Education, not deportation!
I'm walking because I didn't want to live my whole life in the shadows. For me, right now, I would say honestly that the DREAM Act is my only hope.
Education, not deportation!
We have to put all our chips on the table and say, we're gonna go for this right now.
All right, well, the DREAM Act, now just a dream. Senate Democrats, some Republicans failing to pass a bill
Last fiscal year, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, deported 357,000 immigrants, a 50% jump from 3 years before. Last January, Rigoberto Padilla, Rigo, was arrested for a misdemeanor traffic violation 5 minutes from his home. Rigo is now facing deportation.
Something that we can do immediately that I think is very important is to pass the DREAM Act.
I'm one of the older dreamers. I'm 30. My story is about what happens after you receive all that education and you're out in the working world. And I felt I had to tell my story so that other people could understand what's going to happen.